Hi there, Steele again. I'm going to go ahead and show you this time how to find the leg machines that we have in the gym. So down the first row as you come in to the right, you're going to go ahead and you're going to find the hamstring machine, which is called the seated leg curl. It's the first machine. As you look over to the right in the second row here, you'll be able to see it. It'll be the first one. And then the second machine, which is the leg extension. So the seated leg curl will work your hamstrings. The leg extension will work more of your quads. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to use the seated leg curl to start with. And it's probably the single most difficult machine that we do have to use. I recommend when you first get to the machine that you address it in such a way that you figure out which machine it is. And what I'll do is I'll have you sit down the first time that you use it. You'll notice that there's a number of these red knobs. 1, 2, 3, and there's one back here as well. These yellow knobs indicate something that can change. The only two that I recommend you change when you come in here the first time is this one, and I recommend that when you first come in, if it's on the lowest part, just come in, lift that to the highest. Simple as that, because that's going to be the last thing you do. Then the second thing I'm going to have you do is come to the very back, and I'm going to have you estimate where your hip goes to your knee right there. Now, you can sit down if you'd like. You can go ahead and sit down on the machine. And as you can see, that is a very, very far way ahead of my knee, so I know I have to go forward about that far. So let's go ahead and get off. Adjust the machine accordingly. It has a bit of a spring in it. So just as we always do, hold on to the seat, the back, and adjust accordingly. Hear it click, now it's in. I can pretty much eyeball between my hip and my knee joint. Now what I'll do is, since I have this all the way up and I've adjusted this back, those are the only two things I would adjust initially when you first come in before you start playing around with the machine. So once you do that, you go ahead and you sit in the machine. You can see that my knee is about right up in line with that. Go ahead and you sit down and you put well, first thing you would do is you would adjust the weights. I would not adjust it to the lowest weight possible. I would adjust it to about as low as you can go, but possibly just a little bit heavier. And I would put my feet on top. Once you put your feet on top, you'll notice that I probably adjusted it a little bit light, because as you can see, my feet's pushing it down already. So I'll come off here. I'll add a little bit of weight to it. Once I add a little bit of weight to it, I put my feet back on here. It doesn't just push it down. Then, as I said, you're going to have to pull this out. But what I would recommend is just putting your hand on top of your leg, pushing up a little bit with your leg, and then pull that out. Adjust it down until it's snugly over your knees. And now it's in. From there, you go ahead and you hold on, and you pull back with the back of your calves. And do as we did in the previous videos, 10, 15, 20 reps to get a feel of the machine. Now the important part is when you get out of the machine, what you're going to have to do is keep some tension on your knees, but not too much tension. Slide your hand directly over your quad, and you're going to go ahead and pull out and push up with your knee to where the knee is up. So now you've cleared. And then from there, you can just simply move your legs and get out of the machine. Always remember to wipe your machines off. Always remember to address your machines before you get there and wipe them off. Wipe them off when you're done. The next machine I'm going to show you is going to be the leg extension, which is for your quads. It's a simple machine to use. One of the easier machines. As you can see, there's a few adjustments. There's an adjustment here, which in the beginning I wouldn't touch. Once you've done this machine a couple of times, you can start playing with that. But I would adjust this accordingly. Same rule as you just saw on the hamstring machine. As you can see, the back goes here, the knee goes there. So if you're within range of about where your knee is and your back, as you can see, I'm probably about right. But all you would have to do if you needed to adjust it was add a little bit of tension on, pull it out, and adjust accordingly. Or adjust accordingly. Make sure you hear it click. Now it's in place. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and sit down, and I'm going to adjust the weight to one of the lowest weights possible. And I'm gonna go ahead and get in the machine, make sure I'm lined up here. When I do that, I'm gonna go ahead and pull up with my toes. And I'm gonna put my fingers on this. And this will manually adjust where the pad fits on your shin. You can put it wherever you're comfortable. And from there, you go ahead, you grab on, and you extend your legs. So now you're getting a quad workout. And that's pretty much how you use this machine. When you're done with using the machine, you go ahead and put it back, let it down, let your legs out, and you get out of the machine accordingly. So that's how you use that machine. Make sure you wipe it off and clean it, as we all do. And I'm gonna walk you down and show you where the leg press machine is. As we do that, we're going by the shoulder machine, we're going by the chest machine, we're going by the back machine that we've already done, and this is where our leg machine is. Our leg machine is back here where we have functional training. This is also a pretty simple machine. It's going to have a couple of different things that you can move around. The back is an angle. So what you can do from here is you can adjust the angle accordingly, keep your hands on it, take a little bit of tension off. You can either adjust it up or you can adjust it down. I would keep it somewhere neutral, depending. It's really not going to matter that first time you come in, but once you learn, it's going to be easier to use. The one thing I do like about this machine over a lot of the machines is that you can manually adjust the seat while you're sitting. So if I'm sitting and I feel that I'm too close, what I can do is I can go ahead and I can adjust it manually by adding a little bit of tension in my heels, and I can push back. So what I'm doing here is I'm just adding a little bit of tension with my heels, not too much, and I'm kind of rocking back and forth, pulling the yellow button out, and I'm adjusting accordingly. Usually I tell people to try and sit a little closer than they would normally be comfortable, at least in the beginning, because you want to make sure that you're getting to almost a 90-degree or greater when you do the leg press. So you would put your feet up here, and you'd be able to figure out exactly where you're supposed to be on the machine. From there, I'd go ahead and I would adjust the weight to a very lightweight. This is going to be a machine that you can usually be very strong on. So you go ahead and you climb on, put your feet up, and put your feet up pretty high. Go ahead and drive through, and you'll find that, be careful on that clunking. You want to go ahead and just kind of sort of learn the distance of the machine. And the reason why I like people to be a little bit uncomfortable when they first get in as far as how close it is because it feels right now I got in a little bit too close. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reach down, rock the seat back and forth, move it forward, hear it click in, adjust myself up a little. Now I'm even a little closer, and now I'm getting a little bit more work done, and I'm not banging on the bottom like I was on the previous. And that is pretty much how we use our machinery. We wipe them off before we use them, we wipe them off after we use them to stay as clean as possible. Thanks for that tour. Appreciate it.